Hey everyone, and welcome to Sasquatch Theory. In this episode, we have a viewer who wanted to share his experience that happened on the Black River in Missouri. This is a remote area of the state and took place off of Highway 49. I will often drive that highway from time to time when investigating other areas, and it's basically nothing but forest the entire way. Sure, there's houses, driveways, small towns, but if you look around that, it's nothing but trees. You will hear reports where people go to enjoy the waterways, the rivers, and end up experiencing Bigfoot activity. They don't always see the creature, but you can hear him in the woods moving around. Sometimes there's no mistake in the activity. There's nothing that loud in the woods that can break trees and throw rocks the size of boulders. You know, nobody ever tells you, but if you explore the woods of Missouri, or any big forest for that matter, be careful out there, because there are creatures living in this world that science does not understand. Just remember that. If you have had an encounter with a Sasquatch or a cryptid creature, please contact me at sasquatchtheory@outlook.com. I know there's a lot of people that have reached out in the past, and either I fell off the map and got really busy, or they got tied up and fell off the map. If you could, please reach back out to me at sasquatchtheory@outlook.com. Email me and tell me who you are, about the encounter, and I'd love to do an interview with you. So I'm sorry about not getting back with you, or if we lost touch. Alright guys, with all of that being said, let's dive straight into this next Bigfoot account from the state of Missouri. All right, Rick, welcome to Sasquatch Theory. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Miguel, and yourself?
Oh, pretty good. Rick, if you would, tell us about your Bigfoot experience that you had on the Black River here in Missouri.
Well, this happened, I'm thinking in the late 70s, I would say probably 78, 79, 80 area. My family, we used to do a lot of camping here in Missouri, and, we would stay at different parks, just try them out, see what they were like. And one of the parks that we liked, it was called Markham Springs Recreational Area, and it's down in the Wayne County area. But family and I, we all went to the campsite and got everything set up. We ate dinner, and a friend of mine, he was camping with us, so we decided we were going to go down to the river and do a little bit of fishing, see if we could catch anything. So we walked down the river. My sister, she went along with us, and the part of the river that we would go to was like a right bend in the river, and it had a sandbar, so that's where we decided to fish at. So Doug and I, we started fishing, and we kept hearing something on the other side of the river, making all kinds of ruckus and shaking branches and like a low growling towards us, and it would move. So, we wouldn't think anything of it, and then we'd hear it again over there making all kinds of noise. And so we kind of got, a little concerned about it. And we said, well, why don't we get out of here? We don't know what it's over there. So we decided we were going to go down to they had a mill pond. And we thought we'd go down there. So, we walked down there. We get down there and we get set up. And the way that the mill pond is, there's like an island in the center of the pond, so you could walk out on this island. And that's where we were fishing at. We were fishing towards the river. And we were probably, I don't know, 5 feet apart, comfortable fishing distance. My sister, she was probably about 10 feet away from us with the Coleman lantern. And all of a sudden, in between him and I, a rock about a little bit larger, I guess, maybe the same size as a softball, came in between us, and you could see it in our peripheral vision, and hit the water. And we started freaking out on this. We're like, what was that? Was it a meteor? Was it a falling star? I mean, we didn't understand what was going on. So, we get kind of shook up and, well, we're going to go back to the camp. So we get back to the camp and we just get sitting down. We just sat down in front of the fire and we're trying to figure out what was going on. This is really weird. We just never experienced anything like this. So next thing you know, a tree falls. There was like a ditch back in the woods not too far from our camp, and a tree fell. So like, oh my God, what is going on here? So, we're young kids, and my parents were up at the shower, so we beat feet up to the shower, and we all came back, sitting around. Nothing happened that night. I mean, everything was cool after that. And usually we would, like, next day we would get up, eat our breakfast and everything, and we would float down the river on rafts, like rafts you use in swimming pools and stuff like that. So we would float down the river and we'd float down to the bridge on Highway 49, and then we'd get off at the bridge and then we'd walk back up the road. And by that time we would have lunch and then we'd do it again. That's pretty much what we would do and fish. And as Doug and I were walking up the road back to the camp, we're walking, talking, and everything, trying to figure out what was happening, the night before. And we seen a bunch of flies on like the left side of the road there. So, young kids, we went to investigate what we thought was a dead snake. We get up there and there was uh, some stool laying on the side of the road, and I would say it was anywhere from 15 to 18 inches long and about 3 inches round. So, we don't know what would do that. I mean, frankly, it looked like human, but we didn't know. But just that whole experience that weekend was just unbelievable. It's something that you would never forget. I can't say it was Bigfoot. I don't know what it was. It just seems absolutely unbelievable, the coincidences that was happening. And after hearing some of this stuff the last couple of months on the internet, it kind of leaves you thinking that it was some type of Bigfoot. So we don't really know.
Yeah, that is really interesting. And you mentioned this happened on the Black River.
Yes, sir, on the Black River.
Okay, and Markham Springs, is that a conservation area that's right off the Black River?
I believe so. Yes, sir. I don't know if it's actually in the Mark Twain or not, but yeah, I mean it's part of Missouri recreational areas.
Yeah. So how long was the creature there when it was going back and forth, breaking branches and growling?
I guess it was probably about 20 minutes. At first when we heard it, I mean, we weren't really sure. We just ignored it and just continued fishing. But it seemed like the more we ignored it, the louder it started getting, and that's why we decided to get away from there. I mean, I wouldn't think, you know, uh, say a cougar or a bear or something like that would be doing anything. It would seem like it was trying to get our attention, that didn't want us there.
Yeah. It seems like if it was Bigfoot, it was being extremely territorial and it was possibly angry that you guys were catching the fish that it was getting ready to pursue itself.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I mean, for some reason, it was just upset with us, and just to, like I say, I don't know if it actually followed us down to the pond or what, but it just didn't want us there. I don't know if one of us upset it or Was this a dominant thing or what? I really don't know.
Yeah. Do you think it was just one individual, or do you think there was more than one?
I would think it was just one. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing else that would have led me to believe because like I say, I didn't see it, so I don't know, how many there was. I don't understand why it would have followed us, the distance that we walked from, say, the river to the mill pond. I don't know. And, with it throwing that rock the way it did, was it trying to scare us? Was it trying to hit us? I don't know. I don't know if it was upset at me or my friend or my sister. I don't know. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I never experienced anything like that.
Yeah. And if this rock would have hit one of you guys, it would have definitely put you down, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. It would have hit us in the back of the head because it came from behind us, in between us. So, if it would have hit one of us in the back of the head, I mean, we would have went forward, and if it would have knocked us out, you know, naturally we had somebody that would have pulled us out of the water. But if we wouldn't have and would have knocked us out, I'm sure we would have drowned.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how many stories where people drown, maybe they were hit in the head with a rock. You never know. And there's a lot of stories where people see rocks flying out of the banks of the rivers landing into the water.
Yeah, and you just don't think of it. I had never ever been, skeptical about going into the Missouri woods. I never have, but now after seeing some of this stuff, I'm not out to do them no harm. I don't want to do that, but at the same time, I just don't know if I would see one, how I would react.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And how far away was the mill pond from the area that you guys were camping at when the creature was going back and forth making a bunch of noise?
It was probably, oh, now this is probably, I would say mid-July, August, so the river was down at the time. It couldn't have been more than 20 feet on from where we were at to the other side of the river, maybe 25 at the most.
Yeah. Okay. But the activity that you had there on the Black River, was that different? Was that a different area than the mill pond where you had the rock thrown?
Yeah, now that was probably, I would say, mm, maybe a quarter mile away.
Yeah. So they definitely followed you guys.
Yeah, and that's what's so unbelievable about it. It's just, we were at the river, so well, okay, we'll leave from there. And we went down there to get away from it, and then next thing you know, rocks are being thrown at us. Then we left the mill pond. We went back to camp. Then a tree's being pushed over. So it kept pursuing us. The whole time we were trying to get away from it, and here it kept pursuing us. So it meant to scare us out of the area, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like they were following you guys around. I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know if it was, my sister, being a female. Maybe it was a male trying to impress her. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, they say that like certain female smells will attract the Sasquatch and they'll definitely follow you through the woods.
Well, I can understand that. They tell women, if hey, I don't want to be rude or anything, but if they're having their period, you shouldn't be going into the woods, especially in bear country,
Yeah.
because they do seek that out.
hmm And I hear they like women that have like, they're brunettes, brown eyes, have that Native American look to them.
Well, that's interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you smell anything at the time? See any strange lights? Anything unusual before or after, or even during the activity?
No, no, we didn't smell anything.
Okay. Now, what's your theory about the Sasquatch? Do you think that they're natural beings that live out in the woods, or do you think they're some type of creature that's being dropped off by UFOs or something?
No, I think they've been here, you know, as long as, we came across the land bridge, I mean, uh, they they're part of this country, we're the invaders. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel about it. I mean, when you hear, stories of the Native Americans and everything talking about them, they've been here for a long time.
So, have you talked to anybody from around the area and mentioned Bigfoot, and have they talked to you about any experiences that they've had?
Um, I worked with a guy a couple years back, and he was from Oregon. So he said he's had experience with them. And I told him my experience and everything, but I haven't been down that area. Well, I think the last time I was out there was when this happened. That was 40 plus years ago. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, as far as knowing, you know, different areas where they're at and this and that, no, I mean, I'm just as in the dark as everybody else. I mean, you go camping, you don't expect to have something like that happen.
Yeah. Off air, you told me about a story about your bird, the pet bird you have, and the deer that came running out. If you would kind of get into your theory about bringing your pet out and possibly experiencing activity.
Well, I have a blue and gold McCall, and we camp quite a bit. We go on float trips and everything. I mean, I don't like keeping her in a cage, and I want her to, have an enjoyable life. So we spend a lot of time outdoors, and when it's nice out in the summer and everything, it's just uh, they have one of the loudest calls they say in the wild, and my understanding you can hear them up to 5 miles. So I just think that, you know, something like that would bring a curiosity, especially with the Bigfoot, what they say with the intelligence, something like that that they'd never heard would bring some type of where they want to investigate it. They want to see what that is. And I don't know. I mean, I just think it'd be a great decoy to maybe bring one in to see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. You said you had him out one day and he started going off, and a deer ran into your camp and was running around trying to see what the sound
Yeah,
was.
we were at a park near my home, and we go over there quite a bit. And we were sitting at a picnic table, and she was upset with me for some reason, and she started screaming. And it was probably about 150 yards away from where we were at. There were some woods, and a doe come. I mean, she come flying out of the woods and ran right up to us and was running around the picnic table trying to figure out what was going on, where that noise was coming from. So that's why I say I think it would be something that you might be able to call Bigfoot in. I mean, if they're in the area and they're intelligent, they're going to pursue it.
Yeah, that's an awesome theory. Like if someone brought a parrot out there and it was like mimicking people and making all kinds of sounds, I think they'd come in to see what the heck is going on.
And like her, she usually rides on my shoulder and everything, I guess like a pirate, but if they see you, reacting with them and, the bird making over you and you making over the bird, it's going to maybe give them a different perspective on how humans really are and that, they can get along with animals and not destroy them.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of theories that researchers have come across, with these Sasquatch running around with coyotes, foxes, and using hawks and owls to, locate people, food, and other things. So it's very possible.
Yeah, and and with the bright colors that these parrots are, I mean, it would have to be something that would fascinate them because just it's nothing that they see. I mean, they're used to seeing owls and hawks and everything else with kind of a darker color, seeing a bright bird like that would probably be something that would just intrigue me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, if a parrot was on your shoulder, that's similar to the way they carry their young, on their back. They're used to seeing people having dogs on a leash, and maybe they don't like that. Maybe they don't like seeing animals on a leash, and maybe the parrot's
Yeah.
the way to go. Okay. Well, I think that pretty well covers your story. Do you have any more incidents that have happened in your life? Anything else that you would like to share?
No, I don't. I've been in woods, a couple times where I would get that eerie feeling that, something was watching me or following me. Uh, I understand that, we have a population of bear and cougars and stuff in the state of Missouri now. Uh, bear, I'm not really, not, I mean, I respect them. I respect the size of them and everything, but I'm not scared of really a bear compared to a cougar. A cougar is a totally different animal and they're stealthy. You don't know when you're being stalked by, say, a cougar. A bear, yeah, you can see them a lot easier. And, but I never was afraid to go into the woods, and I've been in the woods at complete black, and never been afraid. But now, knowing that we got all this wildlife in Missouri, it's something to think about. I mean, I'm not out to harm the animals, but at the same time, I would make sure that I had some type of firearm with me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you had that encounter, that experience, did you feel like you were in danger? Did you feel like it was possibly hunting you guys or trying to work up the courage to come out and attack you?
Well, at first when we heard it across the river, we, yeah, it kind of raised a hair on your back, but at the same time, well, let's just get out of the area. If there's something over there, I really don't want to be part of it. So that's why we chose to leave. But then it seemed like, when we get down there to the mill pond and rocks are coming in out of the air, well, all right. He doesn't want us here either. Well, we really had no choice but to go back to camp. We went back to camp and then tree falls. So, you know, it, I don't know if it was a scare tactic or if it was wanting to get one of us or just what it was. But, after that happened, that tree fell. We didn't have any more noise or anything like that. I don't know if it was because my parents came back from the shower and it kind of just lost interest or felt like there was too many of us now. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what it was thinking or really what it was. Like I say, I'm not 100% it was a Sasquatch. I'd never seen it, but I know it was something that was just out of the ordinary at that time. But there was too many coincidences after hearing some of these stories and this on the internet. Well, a lot of these coincidences happened to us that night, so it kind of does lead me more to believe it was, a Bigfoot.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you heard about any missing people in the area? Anything strange like that? Missing dogs?
No, no. I live, out in the South County area, so uh, I don't hear of anything, out towards Franklin County, Jefferson County, or anything like that happening. I don't hear of anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. I think that pretty well answers most of my questions. And yeah. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I would just like to say I really enjoy your show, and I think you're doing a great job. And I mean, something like this, needs to be known. Uh, I don't want no harm to come to them. I mean, I don't believe in going out and hunting them or anything like that. But I think eventually, the truth will come out and people will be able to see it. You know.
Yeah, I agree. And if anyone out there is listening has had an encounter on the Black River, please contact me. All right, Rick. Well, I'll let you go for now. I'm sure your macaw's waiting for you, and I'm sorry that you had to put her up.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, she's fussing at me now. She likes to be the center of attention, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know. So I just have to put her in her room and close the door and let her scream. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like a child, you know, where you can correct them and put them to bed, you know. So
Right. I'll have to get you my email again so you can send me a photo of her.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, and I really appreciate you for reaching out and sharing your experience with all of us.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
All right, Rick. I'm going to let you go for now, and you have an excellent night.
You do the same.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye bye.
All right, guys. What do you think? Was it Bigfoot or was it people messing with them? I'm thinking it was Sasquatch. The activity lines up with many other reports, and the area that this happened in is very forested, very remote, and there's not a whole lot of people. I personally have heard a lot of reports where people are fishing and they experience Bigfoot activity. They could be upset that people are targeting the same food sources that they are, and they're the ones living out there, so they probably feel like they need it more. It's wild to me how people go out in very, very remote areas and never see Bigfoot or experience any activity, but then there's people that are hanging out near parking lots, near public areas, and the Sasquatch come to them. It definitely sounds like it was being territorial and didn't want them to come any closer. The fact that they threw a rock and it about hit them, shows that they're aggressive and they can hurt you. So always keep that in mind. They're not some cuddly creature that wants to be your friend and, constantly gift you and swap berries. They are dangerous and they are out there. If you guys can, go down to the description below and you'll find my Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, website, my spread shop, so you can go and buy some merchandise to represent Sasquatch theory. And you can let me know what you guys think of the new t-shirt designs. Do you guys like it? What do you think needs to be improved? And also I want to mention that I have another t-shirt design in the works. I've already paid for it. It's done, so I'm just waiting for it to render. I think you guys will really like it, and it's going to add a whole new look to the channel. Alright guys, that's all I have for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode from the great state of Missouri. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching Sasquatch Theory, and you guys take care and be safe. Until the next one, later.